50, 45. There goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh, my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, welcome in everyone to a brand new edition of The Dream Wager, episode 365. Today is Saturday, February the 10th, 2024. As always, I am your host, D-Rock, and joining me, as always, on this beautiful Saturday, Elvis Acosta. You're on mute right now for whatever reason. I can't unmute you, but yeah, we'll just unmute yourself. But we're doing good, kid. Are you good now? Yeah, you're good now.
So we live, Dill. I don't know why it was acting up.
It never does that.
Yeah, for the first time, I don't know why on Super Bowl weekend it acts up. It literally glitched us out, glitched us back in, and left me muted. I don't know why, but Dill, like you said, wonderful day. It's gonna hit 60 degrees up in the East Coast. It's gonna be lovely, lovely weekend. It's been a lovely week thus far. Kind of love it just because it was brutal these past 2 weeks. Dill, I'm just excited. Dill, it's kind of bittersweet, Dill, that we're gonna talk about arguably one of the greatest sporting events of the year. It'll be the last time we talk about this sport. Won't be the last time. It'll just be the last time we giving out plays. And you know,
for a few months it will be the last time we're giving out plays. It's bittersweet. You know, it's bittersweet.
It's a damn shame.
It's a damn shame, but we got a great episode for you guys. Like Elvis said, Super Bowl 58 going down in the desert tomorrow. But we got a lot to talk about. Some NFL news, some Hall of Fame news, some awards that we got right, some awards that we got wrong. We also got NBA plays for you guys today. We have a nice 11-game slate, big NBA slate as well. And then obviously Super Bowl 58, we'll give out. I was just telling Elvis offline, I got like over 15 plays. We got the side total, player props, some fun bets as well. But yeah, we got a lot to talk about. We will start though with NFL news. The Redskins expected to hire former offensive coordinator from the Eagles, Brian Johnson, to a prominent offensive role staff. So he's staying in the NFC East. He got let go from the Eagles. Now he's on the move to the Redskins to join that offensive staff. Do you like that move for the Redskins?
Not really, Dill, to be honest. The only thing I do like about it is the familiarity in the division. So it's not like he knows what the Eagles are going to do. He knows their plan. He knows the Cowboys. He knows the Giants. So from that perspective, I like the hire. Everything else, I just feel like it's better offensive minds, especially play calling out there in the open market. You know, Eric Bieniemy's one. You know, there's others that really can't come to mind. But Dill, at the end of the day, you know, Dan Quinn, he's the head coach. You know, you got Cliff Kingsbury. He's going to be there as well. At the end of the day, do I love it? No. But for division purposes, does it give him a slight edge? Or not even a slight edge. Just, give you more info.
Boost.
Yeah, a little more information about the division. Absolutely. Is it going to help you possibly win an extra division game or two? Possibly. So I like it from that perspective. But as a coaching hire at the South, though, I just feel like there's better people available for the job. That's all.
My opinion is, or my thought on the matter is that he wasn't even the play caller in Philly. It was Nick Sirianni who was the play caller. So, you know, he got the boot and everything.
Yeah, but my question is, who's going to be calling the plays? Is it going to be Cliff? Is it going to be John?
I don't think John who?
Johnson.
Oh, no. Yeah, no, I think the way Adam Schefter said it's a predominant offensive role job, meaning I guess he'll work with Cliff Kingsbury. You got to imagine if they go out and get the number one pick and they get Caleb Williams, it has to be Cliff Kingsbury calling the play. Dan Quinn's not calling the plays. We know he's gonna have his
he's in charge of the defense. He's gonna call the defense. Offensively, he don't even That's why he had Kyle Shanahan in Atlanta, somebody that could control the whole offense. He don't need to get involved, and that's why I also think he got 2 offensive minds in Brad Johnson and Cliff Kingsbury, so he doesn't even have to worry about the other side of the ball. He probably wouldn't even talk to any of the offensive players like that.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing a similar situation with what maybe the Patriots did last year. Even though it was kind of like a failure, they had 2 guys running the offense, Cliff Kingsbury and Brian Johnson. I guess they'll be running the offense together and getting input from each other. I don't know. It was kind of interesting. Like you said, I like how he's saying the familiarity in the NFC East. But I just don't think he moves the needle. I like the hire for Cliff Kingsbury. I just don't know if I'm all in on Brian Johnson.
Yeah. If you tell me Brian Johnson is going to sit upstairs and Cliff Kingsbury is going to sit downstairs and call the plays, I like that. If they're if we're gonna see something like we saw in Philadelphia, where one guy is the coach for 8 weeks and then somebody else swaps in mid-season,
we can't have that.
That just can't happen. So,
especially in a first-year rookie quarterback, he needs some stability early on.
Yeah, exactly, Dale. So, like I said, the hire, it's okay just because it's going to bring you more intel for the division. But I thought Kingsbury is the play caller. Why? Like I said, the only thing that makes sense is so Dan Quinn could just solely focus on the defense, and then you have 2 offensive mind, 1 ex-coach in Cliff, and then Johnson, who's been there and done that in the division as well, that could control the offense. That's something that makes sense. That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
And speaking of defense, the Chargers and Jim Harbaugh, they officially named Greg Roman their offensive coordinator and Marcus Brady as their pass coordinator as well. So he's really, upgrading that offense. Greg Roman, he was once in Baltimore. Marcus Brady as well. He's their passing coordinator to get Justin Herbert in line. So Jim Harbaugh's doing all these moves. A lot of people didn't like, speaking with Baltimore fans and people in the DMV area, Greg Roman had a few good seasons, but towards the end of it, he kind of got very predictable and one-sided offense. Do you worry about that, moving with Justin Herbert all the way in the West Coast?
No, not really, just because, though, Justin Herbert is that guy. If it's one quarterback that he could do something that's, get, I'm not going to say stale, but just get, repeated, not repeated plays, but just, nothing new. Everything just, it's just blam and get stuck on the same rotation of plays. Though I think with Justin Herbert, that won't really be an issue. I just feel like he's just so dynamic with his arms and legs that, even though you can have a mediocre play calling day, but he can still exceed expectations from those plays.
Mm-hmm.
He can still make plays from after the play deal. Like, you could draw something up. He can escape the pocket, break down, and still make a 30, 40-yard completion. So I just feel like when you have a quarterback that can't do it all, yes, it falls down on the offensive coordinator deal and / the play caller. But when you have a guy like Justin Herbert who could do X, Y, and Z in and out of the pocket deal, I think it won't really matter. As long as long as the guys are in the right places where they have to be, and it's not like, the offensive line not picking up blitzes and whatnot, they'll be just fine because Justin Herbert is that guy.
100%. I think I'm a little higher on Justin Herbert than most people.
Than me. I like Justin, not as much as you, Dale. I do give him. He is a top 10 quarterback. This might be the best quarterback Greg ever had. Let's just be real.
Lamar's a 2-time MVP.
Lamar's a 2-time MVP, Dale, but Lamar at that time, not now. Remember, this is not now. At that time, no, Justin Herbert is better than Lamar. Especially throwing the ball.
Yeah. I don't doubt that. But at pure athletic ability, Lamar's a better. Yeah, but quarterback, Justin Herbert's the ideal quarterback that you want.
Exactly.
I know.
And he can still do everything Lamar could do besides the running part 3 times better.
It's more 3 is a little OD. Maybe 1x, 3x,
2x. He's 2 times.
All right, we'll meet in the middle.
He's 2 times as accurate as Lamar. He has 2 times better deep ball than Lamar. It's true. It's true.
Okay, we'll meet in the middle. Real quick before we get to the awards and the Hall of Fame stuff. Last thing, Seahawks are hiring former Washington offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb. He recently accepted the OC job at Alabama. He was just going to follow Kellen DeBoer, who got the head coaching job at Alabama. He was going to bring him over. But the NFL comes knocking at your door and said, hey, we got an offensive coordinator job in Seattle for you. He went running, and I mean, you can't blame him. And I like the move for the young coach, Mike McDaniel. You know, you get a guy who had one of the top 5, top 10 offenses in the country last year in Washington, and they have some pieces on that offense in Seattle. So I'm interested to see. Look what who was the guy? I forgot his name. It's the Ravens guy. Oh,
Mike
Todd
McDonald?
Monken.
Oh, Todd
No,
Monken.
Todd. Yeah, from Georgia. He made that leap from Georgia, winning 2 national championships, going into the NFL, and now you have a guy in what was his name? Ryan Grubb, who's going and making that leap. Do you like this hire for the Seattle Seahawks? And they're kind of taking a leap of faith on this guy.
Yeah, do I like the hire? I don't love it. Do I like it? Yes. You know, one thing, this is what I like. I like that the young guns are coming in and just moving the ball different, bringing in new visions of offense. You saw like you said, I forgot his name just now too, Todd Monken.
Yeah.
We saw him come in, boom, Ravens AFC Championship game. Mike McDonald, he's a young coach. He just became the head coach still. The only concern I have is, are they too young? You know, you have the youngest head coach in the NFL, well, the second youngest head coach in the NFL, Mike McDonald, and then you bringing in a young OC. It's just, that's my only thing, Dill, but I like the young. At the end of the day, Dill, have you seen these past few years, Mike McDaniels, Miami, Sean McVay, my boy Zach
The
Taylor.
league is getting younger.
The league is getting younger, and not for nothing, Dill. It's working. It's not like it's not. It's working. We saw Mike McDaniels take Tua to a fucking MVP conversation. Yeah. Look what the things Tyreek Hill was doing. Tyreek Hill was great, but he wasn't putting up these type of numbers with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid now. Yeah. So, like, I would say it was is not a great move. Like I said, I like it, but one thing I can honestly say is these young guns that's getting these OCDCs, head coaching hires, they putting in work. It's working. It's working to success. So I like it from that perspective. At the end of the day, you still got Geno Smith. He's solid. He plays top 10 at times. He also plays bottom 20 at times. But, as long as you can have Geno as a top 15 quarterback-ish, if you could be somewhere top 12 to 15 in QBR or something like that, middle of the pack in turnovers, Seattle's going to be all right. You got DK. You got 2 young running backs. You got Smith and Jigba. I don't know what they're going to do with Tyler Lockett and whatnot, but still got a young core there, Dill. And then with Geno Smith, I think the offense will be all right. Like I said, Dill, these young guns, these young head coaches be coming in and doing great jobs. That's why I like the hire. I just don't love it pairing 2 very young coaches together.
The one thing I'll say about it is that they're not hiring mediocre or under
random guys. Yeah,
yes, they're hiring established college guys who are winning. They're winners. Like Todd Monken is a 2-time national champ. Say what you want as college. That is still fucking hard to do. They didn't. The last time they lost, besides this year, that one time to Bama, was during the pandemic. So they are winners. And look what he's done for Lamar and that offense. The offense doesn't look like a normal Ravens offense. So yeah, I think Mike McDaniel, he's such a good defensive guy. He goes, I got the defense. I need you to take care of the offense. I need you to, like you said, I love Geno. He keeps you on his toes because some days he's a top 10 quarterback and then some days he's a bottom 20 quarterback. But he keeps you on your toes. And like you said, 2-headed running back. They got receivers. They got a decent to solid line. Like, they got pieces. They just need some consistency. It was always up and down with the Seahawks last year. So I don't know. I kind of like it. I like the fact that they're going with winning coaches. They're not going with Missouri head coach or a Missouri offensive coordinator. You know what I mean? So like, that's the thing. And you said the league's getting younger. It is getting younger. Like, Bill Belichick, the GOAT, doesn't even have a job. You saw Nick Saban just join Game Day. I mean, he's going to be amazing with McAfee.
Pete Carroll didn't get a job. Riverboat Ron Rivera didn't get a job. Mike Vrabel, he's a young man. He ain't the youngest man, but he's still a pretty young man, so it's just shocking to see some of these, veteran head coaches not get jobs where these other young guns. I'm not saying they don't deserve the opportunity. I'm just saying, I'm just shocked that some of these veteran coaches.
You want to hear why I think that the league is going younger? And I think we touched on it a few episodes ago.
It's Sean McVay's fault.
I know. I think it's because like all these older, I won't say old because older guys. Yeah, exactly. All these older guys, they want full control. And these people in the higher up positions, they're afraid of losing their jobs. So they're saying, hey, instead of giving my guy to a known winner, I'm going to give it to a young kid, and my job is secure for another 3 to 4 years.
And they're thankful for the position they're in.
Exactly. So they're like, listen, I appreciate you giving me this opportunity. I got your back. You got my back.
And none of these young head coaches, even not just first year head coaches, 1 to 3, 4 year head coaches, first time head coaches, they're not about to stomp or, try to go ahead or above somebody. They're gonna play the head coach. Somebody like Mike Vrabel, he's gonna stomp on some toes in the front office. He's gonna be like, I don't need your opinion. Pete Carroll will be like, what do you know? I'm Pete Carroll. Bill Belichick will be like, who's this guy? So it comes like I think it's like, I agree with you, Bill. I think it's some of that going on in the background. Like, hey, like maybe we saw, all right, for example, we saw the Detroit Lions draft room last year, and then look at like Bill Belichick's draft room. Look at Mike Vrabel.
Him and his dog.
Right? It's the difference there. You know what I'm saying? People like, some people want that, and then some people just let me focus and I'm gonna make the picks. Stuff like that, Dill. So it makes sense. Maybe that's what it is, Dill. Maybe these upper, Pete Carroll, he had a lot of control. Big Bill had all the control. He was the GM too. Mike Vrabel, he had a lot of control. We heard reports. The reason why he was let go is because him in the front office butted heads. Yeah. So it is a shame what it's going to, Dill. It's still a lot of great head coaches that don't have jobs. That's the shocking part to me. But, congrats to these young Bulls. It's been working as of late. Let's see if they'll continue working.
And then, like I said, some awards that went out this about a few days ago. I'll just run through some of them. I mean, we got to start with the MVP of the league. Shout out you. You hit it all the way back in July. Lamar Jackson, he becomes the 11th player in NFL history to win multiple MVP awards, joining Hall of Famers: Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Jim Brown, Brett Favre, Johnny Unitas, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Montana, Steve Young, and Kurt Warner. I mean, they're all Hall of Famers. I mean, what do you have to say? I know a lot of people, if they're looking at the numbers, they're not saying, oh, he wasn't better than his 2019 record. Look at Josh Allen. Look at Dak Prescott. They have better numbers. Lamar was the best player in the league this year. I don't want to hear anything. Maybe I'm a little biased, and maybe you are too, but you called it all the way back in July before they even played a snap of football. So I don't know. I gotta defer to you. What did you see? Did they make the right call? And are you mad that they gave it to Lamar?
I love the fact that they gave it to Martell. Like I said in the beginning of the season, before the season, I said this is the best core Lamar Jackson's have ever been around. If he won an MVP in 2019, he's gonna win another MVP this year. He has Odell Beckham. Say what you want. He added Nelson Aguilar. He had Bateman coming back from injury. He got Mark Andrews. He at the time he had J.K. Dobbins back. He had a full healthy team, and I was like, this is the best weapons he ever had in his career. He's due for a breakout season. He got the big bag, so there was no more contract talk on the back of his mind. He could just focus on playing. Playing, he did. He had one of the best seasons this NFL season. I'm not gonna say he had the most productive season, but he was clearly the MVP. He did. I understand Josh Allen accounted for more touchdowns than anybody in the league. I understand that, people, but we could also agree the Baltimore Ravens is not a playoff team without Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm. So real quick, I just want to read you something because a lot of people thought Josh Allen was the MVP. You know, passing yards, he threw for 4,300 compared to Lamar 3,600. Passing touchdowns, Lamar had 24, Josh Allen had 29. Rushing yards, Lamar, he rushed for 821, Josh Allen 521. Lamar's the only player in 5 straight seasons to rush for over 700 yards as a quarterback. That's just a little tidbit. Rushing touchdowns, Josh Allen had 15, Lamar had 5. QBR 65 for Lamar, 69 for Josh Allen.
Damn.
So you look at that and you say if you didn't watch the games and you're just looking strictly at numbers, you'd be like, oh well, player B definitely won the MVP, right?
Dude, Josh Allen had a tremendous season. I'm not gonna take that from him, but at one point, did he not lead the NFL in turnovers, or was leading the NFL? Come on now, he has multiple games with 2 to 3 interceptions. I witnessed it. I was there for one of them. For one of them. You know, so at the end, there was too many blunders / mishaps for Josh Allen to win the MVP. Lamar Jackson, I kind of say he had one bad game while Josh Allen had multiple. Even the game against Miami late in the season when they basically won the division, that was he should have lost that game. Miami just couldn't do nothing offensively and slow them down on the defensive side of the ball. But Josh had 3 turnovers. He had a fumble and 2 horrible interceptions. So like, in understand, he had the numbers to win it, but he didn't have the number 1 seed. That's what it comes down to. You got to have the numbers and either the best record in football or one of the best records in football. I understand he finished the 2nd seed and won that, but at the end of the day, it was too many blunders and mishaps to win the MVP. And you can't win the MVP leading the NFL in turnovers. Can't.
Yeah, and you know that's what I said, and a lot of people brought to my attention, oh well, it's not a team award. Like Lamar had the best defense, but you know, I will say, I agree with your point. It's the number 1 seed, and it's also how he performed against playoff and winning teams. They blew out the Texans twice, one in the divisional round that we saw. The first game of the year, they beat the Texans. They beat the Bengals. They destroyed the Lions, a team that made it to the NFC Conference Championship. They beat the Seahawks, another good team.
Smoked the Niners.
Smoked the Niners, they smoked the Dolphins, they smoked the Jaguars. They're dominating, and in those games, Lamar was flawless. That is my point. He was a big-time player in the biggest games of the season. They were the number 1 seed. That is why he won the MVP, not because of his numbers, not because of this. And a lot of people are mad that he won the MVP, but I thought they made the right call. I thought and they say, oh, well, if you take Lamar off the team, they're still a really good team. You know, Tyler Huntley, he played 5 games. They said Lamar missed 5 games. It doesn't matter. That stuff doesn't matter. And people get mad when I say that, but it's the truth. I think they're all just a little bit of haters, if I'm being honest.
You tell there's some salty people out there. If it was up to me, if I had a vote, I would have gave it to Lamar, and then my second 1A would have been Christian McCaffrey. Me personally, I don't understand. You know, some people say Josh Allen, a couple of people say Dak, some less people say Brock Purdy. I say Christian McCaffrey. I think
Speaking
he did it all.
McCaffrey, he at least he went home with some hardware. He went and I hit on that. Christian McCaffrey wins Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, what he did this season just short of amazing. You know, he scored a touchdown in 17 straight games. I mean, I think that tied an NFL record. It's just what he did for this 49er team is just amazing. 272 carries. That's tied for second in the league. He rushed for 1,459 yards. That led the NFL. He had 14 touchdowns, 4th in the NFL, and he averaged 5.5 yards per pop. I mean, this guy's
he had
the best
more
running
touchdowns.
Back.
That was just 14 rushing there. You got
rushing, yeah, rushing. That's what I meant. But yeah, I mean, what the guy did was just phenomenal. I mean, overall, let me see, regular season. Oh yeah, these are just rushing, but yeah,
I think he had 22 total.
22. Okay,
yeah.
22. Thank you. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy, and he's the best running back in the league. There's no reason why he didn't win the award.
Yeah, Dale. You know, we saw it. The flip the switch when Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers was able to trade for Christian McCaffrey last season, 2022, 2023 season. That team flipped. I understand Brock Purdy also came along with that, but ever since Christian McCaffrey been on this offense, I think they only lost 5 games. 4 or 5 games since Christian McCaffrey came to this team. That's just insane in my opinion. Christian McCaffrey won the Offensive Player of the Year, rightfully so, well deserved. To me, he should have got a couple MVP votes at least a couple first place votes. Lamar almost won a unanimous once again, by the way.
Yeah.
He was one vote away from being a 2-time unanimous MVP. That's
what I also miss by saying that it wasn't like
it was close.
It was close, or like other people thought something else. He ran away with it.
Yeah. He ran away with it. So, like I said, Christian McCaffrey definitely deserved Offensive Player of the Year. If you want to throw Tyreek Hill in there, by all means, but he didn't play all 17 like CMC did,
And I think he fell off kind of late. He was dealing with that injury.
Yeah, exactly. He was hurt.
Yeah.
Even in the big game to win the division against Buffalo, he had 4 drops. If I'm a voter, I'm going to take that consideration. The biggest game of the year, your number 2 wide receiver is down, Jalen Waddle. We need you to step up. You have 4 drops. You're not going to
unacceptable. Yeah. Offensive Rookie of the Year now has gone to an Ohio State player in back-to-back years. Last year it was Garrett Wilson. This year, C.J. Stroud. He ran away with it, I think, week 3, week 4. It was very evident he was going to win. He was minus $1 million, minus 1,000 for the rest of the year. I got that right, but I put it in week 2 when it was at plus 210. So I got a good number on it. I wish I did it before this season, but yeah, the way he's turned it around for, a franchise that won just 4 games. They got their quarterback. They got their coach. We'll talk about. They got their defensive guy who won. Will Anderson, shout out him. He won Defensive Rookie of the Year. So for the second straight year, both Rookie of the Years went to players on the same team. Jets, Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner. Texas, C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson. It pays to draft well, boys.
Absolutely. So this. Let's just say those 2 awards, they were hit right on the coffin. I picked Jalen Carter. He had a strong start, but Will Anderson definitely finished the season at a stronger pace. So right, great win there for Anderson, and then CJ Dill. We didn't even have to say anything. He was just flat out the best. I'm gonna say this.
He's a top 10 quarterback.
He was the greatest rookie quarterback we ever seen. Even better than RG3. RG3 had a great rookie season. RG3 was wild in his rookie season, Dill. What CJ did, he won a playoff game. He was a 7-point dog at home against the Browns, people. Let's not forget, man. Let's not forget. He did that. So I'm going to go on record and say that was the greatest rookie season in NFL history. Wow. From a quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, what he did was just... It was phenomenal, and the streak he went on without throwing an interception, his decision making. It
was like 240 throws, something like that.
At a certain point, I'm an Ohio State fan, and I was rooting for him to throw a pick. I was like, yeah, you got to throw a pick at some point.
Yeah, you got to do it now before playoffs.
I mean, it was amazing. His decision making, his poise in the pocket, his accuracy. I mean, it's just amazing his longevity. The Jets did knock him out for 2 games. But other than that, I mean, he was flat out amazing. It was an A+ season from both. And real quick on Will Anderson, yeah, he started a little slow when Jalen Carter in that defense, when they went on that first 11-game stretch, they were 10-1, lost to the Jets.
Let them know.
Yeah, Jalen Carter was the front runner of Defensive Rookie of the Year. And he still had a good year. But Will Anderson came on late. He was getting a lot of sacks, and their team just fell off, and it hurt Jalen Carter, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I thought they both deserved it. Shout out them. And speaking of the Browns, you brought up the Browns. They went home with some hardware. Browns defensive end Myles Garrett, he won Defensive Player of the Year. Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski, he wins Coach of the Year. Kevin Stefanski, 13th head coach in history to win multiple Coach of the Year's award, joining Don Shula, Bill Belichick, Bill Parcells, George Hollis, Bruce Arians, Mike Ditka, Riverboat Ron Rivera, George Allen, Joe Gibbs, and Ali Sherman. I mean,
wow.
we called it. What he did. Oh, and before we get to the other award, what he did with all those injuries and still make the playoffs with a third string quarterback coming off the couch. I mean, it was a shoo-in. I mean, we said it like week 13, 14. I was like, Kevin Stefanski got my vote. If I had a vote, Kevin Stefanski won it. I'm glad they gave it to Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah, Dust. It was a couple people upset that Stefanski won it, but come on, people. He was able to get to his team to the playoffs on his fourth string starting quarterback. Nick Chubb, arguably the best running back in football, goes down week 4, 3, something like that. Yeah, he loses 2 starting offensive linemen, third one mid-season, fourth one late season. So you're down 4 starting offensive linemen, and your team still finds its way to get to the playoffs still. To me, that's just, you got to give them credit on that. Yes, is there other coaches that could have won the award that they deserved to as well? Dan Campbell did one hell of a job for the Detroit Lions. He could have easily won this award. D'Amico Ryans, their over-under was 4.5. He brought them to a playoff team in one season as a rookie head coach. He could have easily won this award, Dill. But at the end of the day, let's not take away what Stefanski did. To me, he deserved the award. Those other 2 people I mentioned deserved the award as well. I can see why people are upset they didn't win it. But at the end of the day, Stefanski simply did more with less. I understand Houston only had a 4.5 win total, while the Browns were, favorite to make the playoffs, make some noise in the playoffs with the roster they were handed preseason, but that's not the squad that took them to the playoffs when the season arrived. So you got to give Stefanski credit on that. And then with Dan Campbell, Dill, he could have easily won this award as well. He did a tremendous job turning the Lions into contenders, honestly. So, like I said, Stefanski, D'Amico Ryans, Dan Campbell, it would have been great if they could all split the trophy, Dill, but I'm not mad at all. Stefanski won it.
Yeah, I mean, I had a few votes. Even Shane Steichen, I thought what he did in Indianapolis was fantastic.
Good. Yeah.
Without Anthony Richardson, I thought D'Amico Ryans definitely deserved some credit. Dan Campbell,
Todd Bowles as well. As well.
I apologize. I was wrong on him. I mean, I got a little bad taste in my mouth, I guess, because he was my coach. But yeah, I thought a lot of guys deserved it. But Kevin Stefanski, what he did. And Myles Garrett going on First Take this week, he said the Browns would be in the Super Bowl if it wasn't for all the injuries.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
But can the Browns, honestly, Dale, the way the Houston Texans offensively performed that day, I don't think they would have won. Even they got blown off. The defense wasn't. I don't want to hear nothing about injuries, Myles. You was on the field. You led up 40 points.
That's the thing. And the defense for the Texans were flying around.
Yeah,
I mean,
they were playing at a high level, bro. I don't know if Deshaun, Nick Chubb, everybody there would have changed that. I don't think, even if y'all were healthy, y'all not scoring more than 40.
And the award that I'll go to the grave for saying this is fixed. Browns quarterback Joe Flacco won comeback player of the year. They robbed DeMar Hamlin.
He didn't play.
My man died and came back. That speaks volumes. I mean, you didn't know if he was ever going to step on a field again. What he did, Joe Flacco, amazing. I'm happy for Joe Flacco. That's a Jersey boy, legend. He's a Super Bowl MVP. I'm happy for Joe Flacco. I hope he gets a job next year. But DeMar Hamlin literally came back from the dead and said, I'm here. Yeah, he didn't play that much. They're keeping him healthy for next season. That's what they're doing now. They're smart, the Bills. For him not to win the comeback player of the year is an atrocity, a sham, and just I'm lost of words. When I saw Joe Flacco win comeback player of the year, I woke up, I turned my phone off. I said, no way.
Dill, I'm offended you feel this way. I'm completely offended. Shout out to DeMar Hamlin, but buddy, you gotta you gotta play more games than 3, 4. I don't know how many games you played, but you played less than 100 snaps. No way defensive comeback player of the year plays less than 100 snaps. Shout out to you.
I love
You're
how
solid.
on Google. Well, real quick, I'm sorry. Yeah, I love how on Google you type in how many snaps did Damar Hamlin play, and that's the first one. That's the first one that pops up. He only tallied 111 total snaps with 94 snaps on special teams, 17
Oh
on
my
defense.
God. So he had 17 snaps.
On defense.
You
No,
want-
now you're discrediting special teams.
No,
That's
no.
disrespectful.
I apologize. You want somebody to get awarded comeback player of the year for having 17 snaps on the defensive side of the ball. I just want to hear yes or no.
Yes.
All right, like I said, I'm offended by your statement. Dill, congrats to Joe Flacco winning this award, Dill. I'm not going to say he deserved it, but I see why he won it. Turning the team around, taking the playoffs off the couch, ton of respect. My comeback player of the year is Baker Mayfield, Dill. What that kid was able to do, remember last season, having, getting cut by the Panthers, getting cut by the Browns. Well, traded by the Browns to the Panthers, getting cut by the Panthers, then going to the Rams, playing okay in the Rams, and then finding a spot in Tampa, beating out Kyle Trask for the starting job in training camp, and then leading the Bucs to a division title.
Yeah.
If that ain't comeback player of the year, goddammit, I don't know what is. Shout out Joe Flacco. But this man went to training camp as the number 2, second string quarterback. Beat out the starter. Went on a winning streak. Started losing a ton of games. Came back end of the season. Led them to the playoffs. Won the division. And he's not comeback player of the year. Joe Flacco played 6 games. This dude played all 17. Shout out Joe Flacco. Credit to Joe Flacco. But when did the comeback player of the year become an award you could win with 7 games, 8 games played? It's comeback player of the year, not comeback player since November. Like I said, Baker Mayfield, you're my comeback player of the year. Hopefully you get a nice contract. You deserve it, kid. Baker Mayfield, baby. Go Sooners.
What do you think about Breece Hall getting some love? My running back, he came back from a major ACL injury, and to come back on
he had a good season, Dill, but at the end of the year, was a bad team.
Yeah, I get it.
Joe Flacco made the playoffs. Baker Mayfield won the division. Breece Hall ran for like 600 yards, and he didn't play for like 2-3 games because what's that dude? Nathaniel Hackett just didn't give him the ball for some reason.
I will say, though, he definitely deserved it more than
Damar Hamlin.
I don't know about that.
Come on.
So he almost had 1,000 yards. What are you talking about?
Coming back from a torn ACL.
Yeah, 223 carries, 994 yards, 5 touchdowns. He averaged 5 yards a pop. I mean, he's ranked the 7th best running back in the league. I
had 223 snaps. Hamlin had 17 on the defensive side of the ball, and you said no.
Yeah.
And that's a Jets player.
No, I was saying he deserves some credit. Not that he deserves the award. I think he needs to be in the conversation. I agree with Baker as well. I get what you're saying, but I can't make that argument for Joe Flacco because I want Damar Hamlin and he plays way less than snaps. You know what I mean?
No, I understand though. You wanted Damar Hamlin. I understand you were invested.
I was invested all year.
I know, but Dill. The dude played. You said the numbers. I didn't.
I know. I don't know. I just think that's crazy story.
I know. I understand, Dill. I'm not disagreeing with you. All I'm saying is 17 snaps is wild.
Yeah, no, it is. A lot of people got a lot of plus money too on Joe Flacco winning comeback player of the year too. So shout out all you guys who got that plus money ticket. The class of 2024 Hall of Fame. What legends? Julius Peppers, Devin Hester, the best returner ever to walk the face of the year. Dwight Freeney, Andre Johnson. Shout out Andre Johnson. Patrick Willis. I mean, don't come over the middle. Patrick Willis will kill you. Randy Garcher and Steve McMichael. All legends. Which one is your favorite, and why is it Devin Hester?
Shout out Devin Hester. Personally, Dill, it got to be between Andre Johnson and Julius Peppers. Andre Johnson, just because I used to play in Madden with him. Remember Matt Schaub? Matt Schaub used to sling it. Him and Andre Johnson used to sling it. You know, I used to play Madden with them. And Dill, one of my favorite moments of all time, personally, is when him and Courtney Finnegan squared up and started fighting on the field. Courtney Finnegan is a top quarterback, by the way, from Tennessee, and they got it popping on the field, Dill. I appreciate shit like that. So Andre Johnson, Julius Pepper, he was a dog. Julius Pepper, he was a dog, especially early in those Carolina days, Dill. He was a dog. Patrick Willis, like you said, don't go over the middle. Dwight Freeney, I'm a Patriots fan, so I respect Dwight Freeney. Dill, Devin Hester's, he deserves, everybody there deserves the Hall of Fame, but me personally, I'm going to go with Andre Johnson. If I had to pick a jersey to hang up next to Ray Lewis, has to be an autograph Andre Johnson because he'll shoot his shits.
Anytime, anywhere.
Anytime. Fuck with that.
And, you know, speaking of all of them, Devin Hester, Julius Peppers, Steve McMichael, you know, with all three of them being ex-Bears, you got to figure the Bears are going to be scheduled for this upcoming season at the Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio. I think it's like the first week of August, but you got to think the Bears are going to be in the Hall of Fame game this season, which is pretty cool. I like how they change it up. And then first time eligible for the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2025. Just some names off the bat. Not everyone will get in, but these are the athletes that are eligible. Eli Manning, Luke Kuechly, shout out Boston College, Adam Vinatieri, GOAT, Terrell Suggs, Marshawn Yonder, Marshawn Lynch, Earl Thomas, Joe Stanley, Demaryius Thomas, Aqib Talib, Vernon Davis, Darren Sproles, Cameron Wake. I mean, Clay Matthews. These guys are absolute legends. I mean, off the bat, I know his career was short and, you know, he kind of wanted to get in and out, but Luke Kuechly was a fucking dog for Carolina. Adam Vinatieri, he's won Super Bowls with that leg. Terrell Suggs, absolute unit in Baltimore. Marshawn Yonder, he's another unit in Baltimore. Marshawn Lynch, Earthquake. I'm just here so I won't get fined. I mean, Earl Thomas, Legion of Boom, Aqib Talib, one of the shutdown corners. Vernon Davis, he had a long career. Yeah. And then I know a lot of people don't like it, but Eli Manning, say what you want. He defeated the GOAT twice, and regardless of anything other than that, he deserves to be there just because he defeated the GOAT twice.
Absolutely. I understand Eli Manning going to ruffle some feathers. Definitely not a first ballot Hall of Famer, but he's definitely a Hall of Famer on his own, Dill. You know, I understand he got no regular season MVPs, but at the end of the day, he came off 2 historic playoff runs who ended by beating my Patriots. So I don't want to talk about it that much. But, you know, shout out Eli Manning. He's definitely a Hall of Famer, not a first
It definitely
ballot.
counts, though, right, E? Like, going on those runs has to stand for something.
Absolutely. That's why he's on the ballot, Dill. And to me, in my opinion, the only Luke Kuechly, if he played longer, he would have been a first ballot. But I think he only played 8 seasons, so they might not let him be a first ballot, Dill. The only first ballot, to me, that deserves to be a first ballot Hall of Famer is Adam Vinatieri.
Yeah.
Everybody else, Marshawn Lynch, much respect. You know, Eli, much respect. Clay, Terrell Suggs, Earl Thomas. None of those guys will be, you know, first ballot, you know. But Adam Vinatieri, I personally hope he's first ballot because he deserves. He got like 5 rings. 4 or 5 rings.
He's won Super Bowls with that leg. I mean, he's the GOAT for kicking. That's the shoe-in. I think you could just put him in. He's gonna be a fucking Hall of Famer first ballot. But yeah, a lot of great names. Don't know who's gonna be first ballot, but really wanted to just touch on that real quick. And we got some college news as well. I know I talked about Washington offensive coordinator, Boston College. They got a deal done with your boy Bill O'Brien for the next head coaching job. He was expected to be the new OC. He was expected to be the new Ohio State offensive coordinator. And remember, I was like, I really didn't want Bill O'Brien. But he got a big offer from Boston College. You know, and he has an extensive NFL career experience. He's from the area. He coached in New England. Now he's going to be Boston College's head coach. And guess who the Ohio State goes and hires as their OC? Chip Kelly.
Ew. He's better. He's better than Bill O'Brien. But Chip
Yeah,
Kelly,
he was
though,
at
this ain't
UCLA.
Oregon. This ain't Oregon in 2016, 2014, buddy. This ain't Oregon.
I'll say this. It might not be the best hire, but it's definitely better than Bill O'Brien. I'm much happier with that.
Yeah. I ain't mad.
And NFL, they're holding a game in Madrid, Spain, 2025. It will be the first game ever played in Spain. It's going to be held at the home of Real Madrid. No teams have been identified yet. We'll see who goes over to Spain. But are you excited that, it continues to expand the NFL? We had one in Germany. We always go back to London. We saw a Mexico City game a few years ago. They're going to continue to expand.
Yeah, dude, I love to see it. Like I said, I would love to see the NFL expand to Europe. Have 4 teams in Europe, maybe starting with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
They're gonna go to England.
They already got 3 teams in Florida. No need to have three. I understand, they all the way up north of Florida, but they have 3 teams there. There's 3 teams in California, 3 or 4 teams in California. There's no need to have 3-4 teams in California. So I'd like to see an expansion. They'll definitely in Europe, somebody in London, somebody in Germany, someone in Spain, and somebody else somewhere else still, because it's just exciting. And then, a whole division could go. And not a whole division could go, but still, I just feel like down the road is going to be at least 1 or 2 teams from a division going over there with 2 teams added. Something like that between those lines, still. And it's like to see, at the end of the day, one thing I can say for sure is the crowd is more electric over there than it is over here for some reason. I don't know the reason why. I love the European fans. They make the game exciting, and just to see that the world enjoys football. I understand the world's number 1 sport is soccer. Maybe 10 years from now it might be football.
Yeah. And I'll say this just to compare, you were saying the fan bases when the UFC goes over to London or they go over in Europe, the fans are electric from the first fight of the night all the way to the main event. And I think you even saw it now. A buddy of mine from Baltimore, he went to the London series when they went over and played in London this year. And they said, bro, the Americans traveled over and the atmosphere was electric. He goes, I thought it was probably louder than the bank. The stadiums are bigger than some of these here in the United States, and they're just a passionate fan base. And, I think it's warranted. I think we're going to see in the next few years some teams move over there.
Remember during the game, I'm pretty sure it was the Patriots game last season, Bill, when the Germany fans were singing Sweet Caroline.
Oh,
amazing. They were still playing. You heard it, over the announcers, you heard them singing Sweet Caroline. You won't get that in America.
No,
even if it's a Taylor Swift song, it won't happen. But you got these European fans singing an American song word for word for plays. That's different. Out here, we'll stop. We're just different. They out there, they like that. I like that.
I like that too. I'm not gonna lie. Let's transition to the NBA. Like we talked about on Wednesday, is that upcoming into the deadline, and boy, was it a deadline. I mean, let's start on just Thursday morning. Pacers traded Buddy Hield to the 76ers for Marcus Morris and 3 second-round picks. Good move for the 76ers, I thought. Buddy Hield's a really good player. What do you think about that trade?
Joe, that was an amazing trade, though. We were speculating for not just this season, a couple years now. Buddy Hield going here, Buddy Hield going to the Lakers. Never happened. The fact that he was finally able to get traded, I think even he was kind of happy that he got traded there. And to go to Philadelphia, to land somewhere next to Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid, I think he could definitely help them spread the floor and help them possibly get to their goal, which is the NBA championship. Though I think that was one of the better trades this trade deadline.
Yeah, in Indiana, they got 3 second-rounders, and they also got a little veteran as well. So, I thought the Indiana did as well, too. I thought both teams won that trade. Definitely Philadelphia a little more. I didn't see this one. OKC, they finalized a trade to send Trey Mann and Davis Bartise to Charlotte for Gordon Hayward. I mean, I'm glad Gordon Hayward finally got out of Charlotte and is with a contender now, though.
Yeah, though, to me, this was a great trade just come playoff time. You got somebody that could settle down the team, who could slow down the pace of the court. I understand he probably won't be a starter, but, can he give you still viable, 15 to 25 minutes a night Absolutely. Can he still give you, something like 18-6? Absolutely, Dill. So I think come playoff time, Gordon Hayward's role is going to increase, vocally and minutes wise, come playoff time for this young OKC team.
And the team that won the trade deadline, the New York Knicks. I mean, getting Bodan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks for Quentin Grimes and 3 players that don't do anything. Ryan Arcidiacono set an all-time record of 22 straight games of game time and didn't score a single point in anyone. Evan Fournier and Malachi Flynn and 2 second-round picks. We got depth and we got offense coming off the bench now. I mean, that is exactly what they did. A fucking plus. I am so happy the Knicks finally did something smart. Leon Rose, what a job they did in the front office. Getting Bogdan and bringing back Alex Burke. I thought it was an amazing trade.
Yeah, though, definitely a great trade. Definitely helps the Knicks' chances. Though we spoke a couple of weeks ago on the run, especially during the 9-game win streak, about the New York Knicks and what are the chances on the East. Though I'm not gonna say they're there yet, though, but I like their chances just a little more better now. Though the Knicks could definitely make some noise in the Eastern Conference, something like Miami did last year. So watch out.
Yeah. And even your Nets got involved. Raptors, they traded Dennis Schroeder to the Nets for Spencer Dinwiddie. Thad Young.
Who got brought out, by the way, was sitting courtside at the Lakers game last night, by the way. With Rob Pelinka, the Lakers general manager.
What happened? What are you guys doing? You talk to me. This is your club.
Me personally, Spencer Dinwiddie has definitely fallen off. I'm not going to say a cliff, but just out of, rotation / rhythm with our squad, definitely, Dill. So, he wasn't really getting the minutes. He wasn't really getting the numbers that we wanted from him, especially coming off that trade for Kyrie last season, Dill. But at the end of the day, to me, it makes no sense bringing in Dennis Schroeder for Spencer Dinwiddie. I'd rather have Spencer Dinwiddie than Dennis, in my opinion. Now, Dinwiddie got brought out and is liable. He's basically a free agent. It's looking, not for certain, but it's looking like he's going to end up signing with either Dallas Mavericks again or the Los Angeles Lakers, because I saw him last night with Rob Pelinka.
Speaking of the Dallas Mavericks, Charlotte Hornets, they traded power forward PJ Washington, shout out Brittany Griner, to the Dallas Mavericks for Grant Williams, Seth Curry, and a first round. If I'm being honest, he's a good player. I'm surprised he went for all this. If I'm being honest, a first rounder, Grant Williams, who they went out and spent a lot of money on free agency, and Seth Curry.
You know what it was? I heard reports that said Grant Williams just, rubbed people the wrong way.
Really?
Yeah, Grant Williams, he's not. I'm gonna just say he's not the most joyful dude in the world. That's just from the outside looking in. I don't know him personally, but all I'm gonna say is, he doesn't look like he's gonna joke around with you too many times. So I just feel like the Mavericks are still like a youngish team. I know Kyrie's a little more serious out there, but I just feel like Williams wasn't the right fit for the culture in Dallas.
Yeah. Your boy, you know what it is too? Daryl Morey of the 76ers, Pat Bev said, he asked him earlier this, he just be lying, bro. He asked him, yo, am I going to get traded? And honestly, I think it's just to keep it a buck with me. Like, don't lie to my face. Like, I'm a man. I could take it. If you're going to trade me, be like, listen.
I could tell somebody like, yo, put my apartment for lease or something, put it on for rent. I can start making moves.
Especially if you have a family. I know Pat Bev he doesn't have a family. I really don't know, but he's not married. Maybe he has kids. I don't know. But like, if you're married and have kids, like, I need to know these things. Like, it's okay. I'll take it. I'm a man. I could take being traded. Just let me know. He said no, and then at the deadline, 76ers traded Pat Bev to Milwaukee. The Bucks sent over Cameron Payne to the 76ers. Bucks are also sending a 2027 second-round pick to the Sixers in the deal. That's what just rubbed me the wrong way. What are your thoughts on that?
Still, at the end of the day, do I like the trade? Yes, just because I feel like, Pat Bev could definitely do something for the Bucks, but I honestly thought he was doing pretty good for the 76ers. That's what makes no sense to me, though. I like the role he was playing for the 76ers, coming off the bench, providing high minutes. So, can he help the Bucks? from the Bucks' perspective, they're missing True Holiday right now. They simply are. They were one of the best defensive teams last year. Now they dropped down the bottom 20 defensive team. They let go of Alfred Jeffries. They brought in Doc Rivers to shore that side of the ball just a little bit. They know that's not enough. Let's bring in one of the best point guard defenders in the league, which is Pat Bev. So maybe that could help defensively, Dill. But like I said, I just feel like he was a pretty good fit for Philadelphia on like what he was doing there.
Yeah, and I think one of the names that we mentioned to keep a lookout for on Wednesday, Atlanta Hawks guard DeJounte Murray. No trade for him. I'm actually surprised Atlanta kept him. If I'm being honest, I'm surprised the Raptors are keeping Bruce Brown as well. Yeah, I really don't Bruce Brown Jr. Excuse me. So like I really don't know. Do you think Atlanta just didn't get anything they wanted from maybe like an LA or one of those title contenders?
Maybe they looked at it like, hey, if we're gonna give up one of these key pieces, we need somebody to build off or something to build off. We want a couple first round picks, something like that. And basically, I don't think they were able to get it done. Those are good pieces. I'd rather keep Trae Young than Murray. I feel like Trae Young, we saw him lead his team to the Eastern Conference Finals. I feel like with a right piece next to him, he could possibly do that again, in my opinion. With Devontae Murray, Dill, he's a solid player, like really, very solid. It's just I'm not about to give him up for pennies on the dollars, and I think that's basically what the outcome was. Atlanta saw him; they were hearing the phone calls, but they wasn't just gonna blatantly give him away.
Yeah,
Not
that'd be
healthy.
stupid.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be stupid. Some news also. Unfortunately, the Knicks and their new forward OG Anunoby, he's having surgery to remove a loose bone fragment in his right elbow. He's gonna only miss 3 weeks, so it's minor. He tried resting, but the procedure turned out to be the best option for him to be fully healed and to play in the end of the season and towards the postseason. So I'm glad it's only 3 weeks. I'm glad the All-Star break is coming up and he'll have some time to rest. But, the Knicks are going to miss him. We traded a lot for him. He's one of our best players on the team. But I'm actually glad he's having the surgery now as opposed to waiting later down the road.
Yeah, they'll definitely get the surgery now, get him back right in time. March, finish the season. Even mid March, they'll let him rest, finish the season, let him play at least 10 games to finish the season, get him ready for playoff time. Y'all need him.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, that is all the news that we had. A lot to talk about in the NBA and the NFL. Before we get to the NBA, we got, like I said, 11 game slate on the board. Let's take a quick break and get you paid for our sponsor. We are brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebrations, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We favor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing a round of golf with the boys or an elderberry on a Sunday watching Super Bowl 58, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid, let's get to the NBA first before we dive all the way into the NFL and Super Bowl 58. 11 game slate. Big win for the Sacramento Kings real quick. I'll say that LeBron had a good game yesterday. They blew out the Pelicans. Atlanta, big win on the road against Philly. But today, 11 game slate on the board. What do you like?
Yeah, I only got 4 plays official. I got a few leans. So I'm gonna go with my 4 official plays. So let's start there. OKC taking on the Dallas Mavericks. Still in Dallas. OKC laying 2 over on the sitting at 239.5. Give me OKC on the money line, people. I got it at -124 right now. Shop around, people. I locked in at -135. So just shop around for the best number out there, people. OKC on the money line. If you want to lay the -2 on the road, by all means. Dill, next game, 7:30 start. The Indianapolis Pacers taking on your New York Knicks. The Indianapolis Pacers. I called them. I mean, I caught your Knicks plus 4.5. They'll rise of right now. They dropped to minus 3.5. Line is moving in my favorite. Though Jalen Brunson is back in the lineup after rolling his ankle. To be honest, though, your Knicks been rolling in the Indiana Pacers ever since that in-season tournament. Though they've just slowly been fading away. I don't know what it is. Tyrese Halliburton hasn't been looking great as of late. I don't know what it is, but Indiana's definitely falling off. Give me the Knicks plus 4.5. I still even take the plus 3.5. Next game, Dill. This is a marquee matchup. I expect Kevin Durant to have a huge game. Phoenix Suns take on the Golden State Warriors in Golden State. Give me the Phoenix Suns on the money line, Dill. And I kind of want to take Kevin Durant over his points, Dill. He's at 25.5. You know what? Give me Kevin Durant over 25.5. I think you got to give Golden State at least a 30 piece, especially if Draymond's on the court. Got to give Draymond at least 20 of those. Give me Phoenix Suns on the money line minus 130 and Kevin Durant over 25.5 points at minus 115. And then my last play of the night will be in New Orleans Pelicans taking on the Portland Trail Blazers. Like Dylan said, the Pelicans got blown out last night by the Lakers. Blown out, but they got taken care of by the Los Angeles Lakers and LA. Now they're going off of back-to-back in Portland. I think they can take care of business tonight. Laying 7.5. Give me the minus 7.5, whatever you get it with the Pelicans. Portland, it's just a bad team. It's just a bad team. I think Pelicans bounce back. Give me the 7.5.
What is going on with defense? Or like the old NBA that we grew up on? What happened to
it's
that?
Gone. I remember watching games
gone.
84, 80, 78, 81, 94, 88. I remember the Lakers Celtics series, though. Each game was like 80 something.
I mean, you got games like Boston and Washington, 133 to 129. You have Sacramento, 135 to 106.
It's the three ball, though. Remember when we were kids / teenagers in high school, though, they were probably putting up 5 to 12 threes a night. Now they're putting up 30 threes a night.
Yeah, it's gotten out of hand if I'm being honest. But yeah, I'm gonna go. We'll start with that Knick game, Knick Indiana Pacers. I am actually gonna take Tyrese Halliburton over 8.5 assists. He's averaging 11.7. He's averaging 11.7 assists on the game. He's slowly getting back to that old Tyrese Halliburton when, he's coming off that injury. His minutes are starting to climb from 22 minutes to 29. He had 26 against the Warriors. He racked up 11 assists in that game. The Pacers, they don't play the next time until Monday, so I think we should see more minutes from him. And when he's played at least 25 minutes, he's gone over this number in 30 of 36 games. Even if say we bring it down 5 minutes, between 25 and 30 minutes, he's cleared this number 5 of 8 games while averaging 10 dimes a game. So gonna go Tyrese Halliburton over 8.5 assists. I just think it's a little too low. We'll go to that Charlotte Orlando game. I'm going to go Wendell Carter Jr. over 12.5 points and assists. I love this matchup. It's his old teammate. Since he was traded to Orlando, he smashed this matchup against Nikola Vucevic. He's averaging 20 points and 3 assists in 8 games. He's exceeded this line in 8 of 8 games and has hit 20-plus points in 6 of 8 games when going against his old team. I love this matchup. We didn't get there on Wednesday with Brandon Miller, but I'm going right back to him. Give me Brandon Miller over 2.5 threes at minus 110. They're going up against Memphis at home. And, Miller, he takes the majority of the threes. He's shooting over 40% from deep for Charlotte this season. And Memphis, they do a solid job limiting the threes, but they let the other team opponents shoot 37.8% from three, 7th best in the league. So over the last 2 weeks, Memphis has had the 6th worst defensive rating, and it presents, I just think, a solid opportunity for Brandon Miller. So over 2.5 threes for Brandon Miller at minus 110. And those are my 3 player props for Saturday. But Elvis, let's get to it. Let's get to the NFL Super Bowl 58, what you've all been coming to. It only took us an hour to get there, but we're here. Super Bowl 58. We got a rematch from 4 years ago. 49ers taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. We will start with the side 49ers -2, -120 on the money line. Chiefs +2, +100 on the money line. over-unders at 47.5. We will start with the side. Elvis, I need a winner. What do you got, kid? Who you taking?
I came down to my
last game now.
I came down to my decision Thursday after Wednesday's podcast. I was like, I got to come down to a decision. It, it was a tough decision to make, Dill. With the Kansas City Chiefs, with Patty Mahomes, it's just hard to bet against Patrick Mahomes. With the 49ers, they're healthy. When they're healthy, they're just one of the scariest teams in the NFL, Dill. Andy Reid, Patty Mahomes, that defense is arguably the best defense Patrick Mahomes has ever had, Dill. But one stat I seen, and it's kind of like, wow. Patrick Mahomes is 4-0 in his career at Allegiant Stadium. He's 3-0 in his career against the San Francisco 49ers. That says something, Bill. That says something. We saw Patrick Mahomes and his offense, as underdogs, go to Buffalo, take care of business. As underdogs, go to Baltimore, take care of business. Still, as of right now, they're underdogs once again in the Super Bowl, the grand tamale of them all. Still, with Brock Purdy, he's been phenomenal. I gotta give him his flowers. Still, what he was able to do against the Green Bay Packers and then the second half against the Detroit Lions, both coming back in the playoffs at home, it was special. Though I understand lucky pass with Ayuk in the third quarter, whatnot. I understand all that, deal, but the fact that the kid is able to come back, fight back, and pull off these games, it's not the regular season no more, though. It's the playoffs. That speaks volumes to me, Dill. Christian McCaffrey's running at a high level. Debo's going to be doing Debo-ish things, Dill. With that being said, give me the San Francisco on the money line, minus 130, Dill. I just have a feeling Kyle Shanahan will finally get over the hump, Dill. Kyle Shanahan, I'm not going to say he's known for blowing the big game, Dill, but we saw him blow a 10-point lead in the Super Bowl 54 with Jimmy G at the helm. They were up 24-14 in the Super Bowl, Dill, in the fourth quarter. And I forget that. Against Atlanta, he was the offensive coordinator calling the plays. He was up 28-3. He had two leads in Super Bowls, had managed to lose both. Still, I think it's Kyle Shanahan's time to shine. Don't get me wrong, the Kansas City do have the better coaches. Steve Spagnuolo is one of the best defensive play callers in all of football. Andy Reid, he's just phenomenal. He's great. I just have a feeling all the numbers align. It's been 30 years. 1994, the last time the San Francisco 49ers has won a Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes is undefeated at Allegiant Stadium. He's undefeated against the 49ers. I feel like those numbers mean something, though. Give me the San Francisco 49ers, minus 130 on the money line as your Super Bowl 58 champions.
Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier in the week, and I was just like, how many times do they have to get there for them to get over the hump? Kyle Shanahan, they have all-stars across the board, and I just think it comes down to timing in anything in life, and I think, this might be the time for the 49ers, but not so fast. I took the Chiefs plus 2.5, and it came down to like what you said. I also took them on the money line, and also, by the way, I know you said minus 130. You could get the 49ers at minus 120 right now.
On Thursday, it was minus 130.
Yeah. So it all came down to how many times it was like the Tom Brady effect. How many times are you going to bet against Tom Brady? How many times are you going to bet against Patrick Mahomes until he shows you that, he's just different. He's just going to keep proving you wrong. And I've done it so many times this season. Not anymore. I can't do it. I have to bet the Chiefs here. Don't really like them, but I like winning money. I like winning money, and I think San Francisco, they have all-stars across the board, but I think one of the main focus and main storylines that not a lot of people are talking about is how good the offensive line for the Kansas City Chiefs has been playing. They've only allowed one sack, and it was in the third quarter in the AFC Championship game. I think that defense, Spagnuolo, 2 weeks to draw up a game plan to confuse Debo. you're not really going to limit. You're going to try to just contain CMC as best as you can, but I think they're going to confuse Brock Purdy, and I think they're just going to win this game. They're going to swarm them. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. We'll get to the total in a second. I'm going to go under that, but yeah, I think this defense, and we've seen it time and time again. We saw it in the AFC Championship game. We saw it when they beat Miami. As soon as they get a lead, what do? They run the ball. They play ugly football, and their defense just locks up. They're even if they open up a 10-point lead, 7-point lead, they're not going to allow the San Francisco 49ers to get back into this game. And maybe they can. I just don't see it. I think they're going to go back to back. So give me the Kansas City Chiefs. I got them at +2.5, and I also took them on the money line at +117. Still get plus money out there. And as for the total, like I said, it's at 47.5. I think it's going to be an under game. I think you got two good defenses. I think it's like a 20-17 type game, maybe 20-14, something like that. But I don't see I don't see any team really getting high into the 20s. I think Chiefs get up there, but I think their defense really locks in and is really stingent on the 49ers. I think the 49ers are going to be very confused come tomorrow. So I'm going to go under 47.5 for my total. Any opinion on the total?
Dale, to be honest, with the total, Dale, like you said, these are arguably the best two defenses in the NFL. I understand Baltimore probably was the number one, but this top number 2 and number 3 easily. Dale, I just don't see, with the Chiefs offensively, Dale, they haven't broke 20. I don't think in this playoff. I think against Miami, but it was kind of low scoring against Buffalo, and it was really low scoring against Baltimore, Dale. They didn't score not 1 point. I don't even think they got in field goal range in the second half, Dale.
No.
So that was what's concerning to me, Dale. I'll lean the under as well. I'm not going to go with it personally, Dale, because San Francisco averages 31 points a game. This is number one offensive football. Would it shock me if the 49ers get to 30? Absolutely not. Absolutely not, Dale. So I'm gonna stay away from it just because I do think it can go under, but like I said, this is Patty Mahomes. This is San Francisco 49ers. Best quarterback in football, best offensive football with the Niners. Anything could happen. I'm staying away from it.
Now let's get to the props. We'll start on the San Francisco side since you are picking them. You got Brock Purdy, you got Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, even Juszczyk. I know a lot of people like Juszczyk to maybe find the end zone or whatnot. Brandon Ayuk. Any San Francisco 49er props you like?
Dill, give me Deebo Samuel over 57.5 receiving yards. Still, I think he's going to be the biggest X factor in this game. I feel like Deebo Samuel is going to run it. He's going to catch it. He's going to do some damage. Still, he's going to be running the ball with a vengeance. Yak is going to be a must. He's going to get a ton, maybe not a ton, but he's going to get a couple yak yards after contact. I just have a feeling he's going to be a hard tackle all game long. Give me Deebo Samuel over 57.5 receiving yards.
I like Deebo anytime touchdown. I think he's the actual MVP of the 49ers. 33% of their air yards go to Deebo Samuel. 30% of Brock Purdy's targets are targeted to Deebo Samuel. He's a threat in the air and on the ground. We see him. How many times do we see him lined up in the backfield running the ball? So he's a dual threat. I just love Deebo Samuel. If I'm being honest, I think this is just I really love the guy so much as a player. I just have to take him anytime touchdown at plus 180. I got it a few days ago. It's at plus 155 right now, so it has come down a little bit, but I like that. I was even looking at I said on the other day, Deebo Samuel, any over 2.5 rush attempts. Like I said, CMC is not the only one in the backfield. 49ers, they love to establish the run. They put Deebo back there. Sometimes they even put Juszczyk back there. He gets a carry or two. And he's had 3+ carries in 6 of 6 playoff games as a Niner. So they like to get him involved in the run game. So I'm going to go over 2.5 rush attempts for Deebo Samuel. I even like 3.5 rush attempts for Brock Purdy. How many times did we see him try to elude the pressure in Green Bay last week against Detroit too? He's the white Michael Vick. So over 3.5 rush attempts, we're getting plus 120 on that.
I like
I
that.
I like that.
And if he wins, 2 kneel downs.
I need that.
Come on
I
now.
was even thinking Kyle Juszczyk anytime touchdown plus 900. I thought it was worth a sprinkle.
They're gonna hand
You
it off
never
to
know.
They're gonna hand it off to
Or
CMC.
Or a little dive, a little boot. You never know. Kyle Shanahan will draw it up. I going back to Debo, 4.5 receptions, minus 122. I mean, he has to get 5 receptions to go over his 57 or whatever his yards are. I'm gonna go fade Christian McCaffrey. I'm gonna go under 19.5 rush attempts as well. That's a lot of rushing attempts, especially if they're behind. They're gonna be throwing the ball. I think, he gets maybe anywhere around 15 to 18, but 20 rush attempts only if they're up. If they're up, they're going to run the ball. So then that would be dead. But yeah, I like those are mine for the San Francisco 49ers. Let's go to the Chiefs side now. You got a bunch of guys, obviously Patrick Mahomes. You got Travis Kelce, Isaiah Pacheco. What do you like for the Chiefs side?
Yeah, I like the Chiefs side a lot, Dill. You know what? Give me Patrick Mahomes over 25.5 rushing yards at minus 125. Like you said, Dill, I just feel like Patrick Mahomes going to have to do it with his legs and his arms to be able to win this game. I personally think Patrick Mahomes is going to have to run for at least 40 yards for them to even win this game because he's going to have to escape pressure, Dill. He's going to have to. Give me Isaiah Pacheco over 67.5 rushing yards on minus 112. Dill, this is one of my favorite plays of the weekend just because we saw what the Lions was able to do in the first half against the 49ers, and we saw what Aaron Jones was able to do against the 49ers as well. All on the road, all on grass. Guess what they're playing on? On grass still. So I think Isaiah Pacheco could have a tremendous day, especially against that defense. Give me over 67.5 rushing yards still. And then my last one is Travis Kelce, Dill. Give me over 66.5 receptions. I like the yards as well, Dill, but he's going to get a couple, like those tight end screens. He's going to at least get 2 of those. He's going to get a couple over the middle. I think he goes over 6.5 easily.
That's all you got?
I got a few more. You know what, Dill?
All right, let me jump in. Let me jump in.
I'm trying to give you motion. Dill. Come on.
Yeah, I hear you. Isaiah, like I mentioned the other day, Isaiah Pacheco over 16.5 rush attempts. We're just going to run it back every playoff game. I mean, this guy – it's just, I love him. I love him, and they just keep running the ball. Isaiah Pacheco over 66.5 rushing yards. I think you kind of outlined everything. He's gone over this in 4 straight, including all 3 playoff games. Chiefs, they're I remember the Chiefs being extremely pass heavy. That's not the same team. Using Isaiah Pacheco has created a lot of success. You mentioned it. 49ers have struggled against the run in the playoffs. They have allowed 262 yards in 2 games. Yeah. So
I could run on that defense.
Yeah, exactly. So give me Isaiah Pacheco over 66.5 rushing yards. I kind of faded Travis Kelce. Under 70.5 receiving yards. You could get that at plus money. I know he's gone over this in every game. He's going to be their number 1 receiver. I get all that.
Greenlaw or Fred Warner is going to cover him. One of those.
And if not, they're going to double him. So I don't know. I'm just going to fade him because I think the 49ers, if they have to double one guy or put a focus or a spy on someone, it has to be Travis Kelce. You cannot let him beat you.
Real quick, if Travis Kelce goes under, which you predicting is, the Chiefs are not winning this game.
And that's what I need to.
They're not. The Travis Kelce goes for under his yards total. They're not winning this game. They're not.
I'm also going to take Patrick Mahomes not to throw an interception at minus 105. I know he's had 14 interceptions this season. He's actually kind of been a little careless with the ball more than his previous seasons, but in the playoffs, clean sheet in all 3 games. He's really taking care of the ball, and they're getting it at a minus 105. I see some minus 103s out there. Patrick Mahomes will take care of the ball in the biggest game of his life. So gonna go under a half of interception for him not to throw an interception. But I got some more. What else you got?
Dill, Give me a two-way teaser, Dill. I love this play, Dill. This is my favorite play of the weekend. Well, second favorite play. Give me San Francisco 49ers money line with Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown at plus 119. People, I love that one. Christian McCaffrey gonna get in not once, maybe twice in this game. Dill. I like Christian McCaffrey to score a touchdown with the money line, like I said, plus 102. Christian McCaffrey to win the MVP at plus 460. That ticket it is right now. And give me correct score. 49ers 23-20 plus 7,000. Give me 49ers 24-20 plus 11,000. Give me 49ers 27-24 plus 5,000. And then my last play, one of my last two plays, heads on the coin flip, and Dill, my favorite play of the weekend. Patrick Mahomes and Brock Purdy to combine for 50-plus rushing yards. I got Patty Mahomes going over already, and you call Brock Purdy the white Michael Vick. You got to love it. Plus 160.
Yes, I fucking love it. Give me Harrison butt kicker over 1.5 field goal made minus 120. He's been over this in 4 of the last 5 games. Niners defense, they allow 3 and 2 attempts in the last 2 playoff games. You know, the Chiefs have a good defense, but their red zone is the red zone offense, and I think they're going to use butt kicker a lot. And with that, I'm going to do longest field goal made for the Chiefs, minus 115. We've seen the 49ers. They don't trust their kicker in Moody, the rookie. Butt kicker, he's elite. He's a veteran. I think they're going to use him a little more than the 49ers. Opening kickoff, touchback. No, they're going to run it out, plus 300. Longest punt return is set at 17.5 yards. Under. We're not going to get a Kadarius Toney run back like we did last year. Give me under 17.5 longest punt return at minus 110. And yeah, for like specials like you were mentioning, I got tails. I've done tails every fucking year. I will not stray away from tails. I got it at minus 105. Are you doing any of these like like the Taylor Swift things or whatnot, or no?
I don't even know what the Taylor Swift thing is, though. I'm not paying no mind to that.
Okay, good.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Do you think there'll be an octopus?
No. I wish.
No. I wish. That'd be fucking sick if there was. I got the national anthem under because Reba McEntire sings it very fast. Country star.
Come on now. Love me to
gonna go under that as well. Do you have
pinkish red/pink Gatorade? I think it's either plus 460 or plus 500. Both teams are red/pink.
So red, I'm looking at one book. Red is plus 275. They don't have pink. Purple is plus 250. Red is plus 275. Yellow/green is plus 300. Orange is plus 300. Blue plus 350. Clear 10-1, or no Gatorade 16-1.
I don't know. No Gatorade.
I don't know.
That's tradition.
Yeah, that's tradition. I gotta go blue. Plus 350. I gotta hit on one of them one year. I will. I know you already.
Yeah, I hit the blue plus 800. So.
But that is all the plays I have. Any last words? Anything you got to say before we, because next time we record, football season's over, kid.
Yeah, Dale. People, I just hope everybody wins some money. The 49ers win the Super Bowl. And let's just have a great weekend, Dale. Let's both win a lot of money. Hopefully our listeners win a lot of money because we gave out a ton of plays still. So hopefully that parlay hits. Hopefully one of my correct scores hit. That'll be great. But Dale, let's just bittersweet that this is the end of the season. But I'm glad I was able to do it with you, kid.
Thank you. I appreciate that, brother. Glad to do it. Always do it with you. I mean, and it looks like from their total score, you look like you're going under besides one of them. Looking like a shorter slate. So I hope you all hit your bets. I hope all the listeners will have our our records for the whole 2023-2024 season on Wednesday. Elvis will have his record. I'll have mine. Hopefully we've had a profitable year. I think we did as a group. But yeah, that's going to do it for this Saturday edition of the Dream Wager. On behalf of our sponsor, Viva Tequila, Elvis, myself, we'll see you guys on Wednesday. We'll recap the big game. We'll give you we'll give you our final rankings as well. Our final power rankings. We'll give you our updated records. But enjoy the big game. Enjoy a little NBA/UFC today. Make sure you guys follow along our social media, X and Instagram at The Dream Wage. You guys can find all of our episodes wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. Make sure you guys hit that like button. We go live on YouTube every Saturday and Wednesday, youtube.com/The Dream Wager. Subscribe, rate, give us a like, leave in the comments who you'll be betting on the big game. All that good stuff really helps the show grow tremendously. So be a friend, tell a friend. Everyone have a great few days. Good luck on your wagers this weekend. Be safe, be well, and we'll see you guys down the road. Peace.